Hi guys, my name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel. Today we have another Scrawlrbox for you guys. This one arrived a little bit late due to like everything that is happening right now, but I'm so excited to finally have this Scrawlrbox. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I've been looking forward to making this video for like 2 weeks right now. So I'd say without any further ado, let's open this bad boy up. My problem always is when I look on YouTube and I go through my favorite art videos, these come up as well, and there's people who do the Scrawlrboxes too, and then I don't want to watch what they're doing with it. I don't even want to see what is in it, but sometimes the thumbnails are spoilers, and I have seen a bit of spoilers. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I did see pencils. So that is the first thing I'm going to start with, pencils. So these look huge, unbelievable. They're really big. So we have a brown, a green, they're Faber-Castell pencils, by the way, and a red. And we have a sketching pencil. I've said this before and I'll say this again. I think after so many boxes, you'll end up with a lot of pencils. You don't need to buy them for a long time, which I suppose is a good thing because you're paying for this box. So then we have the menu that I don't want to look at right now. Then we have a beautiful artwork that I'm seeing. And because it's May right now, this reminds me of Mermaid with like the fish over here. And this is gorgeous. I really like this. Angelica Schulte. That is beautiful. Then we have a candy, a half open candy. I don't know, eclair. A banana split eclair. Okay, that's interesting. And then we have this. So we have a beautiful sticker. We have a brush. A white nylon brush. Okay. And we have these two. So these two are Faber-Castell as well. They're watercolor markers. Watercolor markers, interesting. They look super weird. I've never seen any of them like this before. That is really interesting. I'm gonna try them out. That means I might have to get my watercolor painting palette thingy out. A Scrawlrbox. What is this? Is this new? It is. So this is basically everything that's in a box. New paper sticker. Is this going to be monthly? Oh, and like an interview with the creator. That is super cute. Tips about the box itself. Okay, so this is just information leaflet with like things that they have going on right now. And last but not least, we have watercolor paper, and this is 300 DSM cold pressed 8 sheets. Right, so I'd say let's start by testing out the materials, and I'm starting out with the standard HB pencil that they included. And I kind of want to see as well how the water responds with the pencil itself. So that's why I'm just gonna make a few different lines and just see if I can get them like different in like thickness and see how they go. So that's the pencil. Then there's a really big brown pencil from Faber-Castell. And a red. They feel really nice to work with. And a green, which is really bright. So I hope actually that maybe I can try this out as well. Mix them and see how they respond together with the watercolor. Then we have these bad boys, the Faber-Castell watercolor markers. It's really pretty, really vibrant. And there's a bullet nib as well. And the bullet nib seems to be even darker color-wise. And I have a blue one. So yeah, I suppose that I'm just gonna see how they respond with water as well. So far it's looking nice on the actual paper over here. I like how this looks. Now, because I've seen this as watercolor, I kind of came prepared. So I have 2 glasses of water and I have my watercolor palette here, and I have a water spray bottle so I can fill that in here as well. Oh wow, it's picking up a lot of color immediately. Look at this. That's really pretty. And I have a tissue in my hand as well, just to get the color off my brush, because like the tip is very susceptible to picking up colors. And just testing out the different swatches here as well. Oh, look at that pretty color. So they look good. This one looks darker than this one, obviously, so it's interesting to see what happens. But hopefully it might help with the actual drawing, give it a bit more dimension. Okay, this green ended up mixing quite nice, so I'm curious to see what happens when I go over the regular green right now. Oh, and that is really vibrant. Very, very vibrant. So it helps to put like the darker color over each other, like over a lighter color. Oh wow, look at this red. That's gorgeous. Really like how that looks now. And the brown. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected. Obviously, God, I'm a noob in watercolors. I have tried this once. I don't even think I tried properly though, in all fairness. Oh, what I want to try as well is how these respond on top of this. And I'm grabbing the darker one on purpose. Don't know why, just to see how it responds, I suppose. Oh yeah, they respond quite well. See, they're holding up. Okay, I like that. That is really good news, because that means I can just use the pencil to make a piece and go from there. Right, so I came up with this piece. Now, I did take my time and I really wanted to come up with something quite nice that I liked a lot. And this is what I came up with. So I know it is the April Scrawlrbox, but when I received it, you know, it's May right now. So like mermaid, and that is all I could think of. So I wanted to draw a mermaid that was sitting in the water in a nice quiet environment, dreaming away, because you know the challenge is daydreamer, and then her dreams, you kind of see them coming out over here. So that was my idea. So that is what I'm going for. So I'll be making the rest of this like a speed video so you guys can see how I'm doing things, and I'll talk on top of that, and hopefully I won't screw things up. I'm really nervous to start. I have scanned this picture in because I like it a lot and I don't want to completely lose it, you know. So yeah, that is what I've done, and hopefully it will work out. So from this point on, I will just show you guys the drawing in like as a speed drawing, as I always do, because
I took forever with this piece because it's such an unknown medium to me, but I really did have a lot of fun exploring it properly, or as best as I could anyway. So what I did is I started out with the red, and I already know a few things that I will do different next time. So I think next time I'm not going to draw on the actual paper of the drawing with the pencil, but I might have another sheet next to me and put a load of the pencil on that one and then draw color from there and then put it on the actual drawing. So I think that is what I would change instead of you seeing the pencil marks on this drawing. But it worked for what I wanted to do. I did want it to have the shadows and highlights in certain areas, and I suppose it worked out. Like, I think when you start a new medium, you have to really try and find out what works and what doesn't work, and this was definitely trial and error. So what I did as well with the watercolor markers, so to say, is I painted on like my palette at the top right, as you can see, and I spritzed some water in there. That is, I think, the best way that I could come up with. I think in that way I don't color directly on the paper, but I can still use the color and you can still determine how much of that color you want in there. So for this drawing, I had something very specific in mind. So I wanted to draw a mermaid sitting, daydreaming, and I had certain colors in mind. Did it end up exactly how I thought it would? No, absolutely not. I think that is to be expected though, especially because I'm so new with this, and I was trying to find out how to get like the right colors in it, and it was quite tricky. And also it was tricky because I thought taping down would completely stop the paper from trying to bubble, and it didn't, and I wasn't quite sure why. So even though like it bubbled, I had to continue. So what I've done for the water is I combined the green and the brown pencil together, and I thought that would make a lovely color. Now I know I can hear you thinking like, green water, come on, that's like not supposed to happen. And you know, fair enough, I can see where you're coming from, but it's going to end up quite nice, I think anyway. But then her dream bubble, basically, I wanted to have two shades of color in there. So I wanted to have the green and the yellow, and I was trying to mix them up, and they mixed up quite nice. And I did not want to have one solid color there. I wanted to have like that you could see that was green and yellow, and then some parts mixed, and then the other parts very visibly and very clearly its own color. So that's what I tried to do over there, and yeah, I'm reasonably happy with it. Like, for my first time, I'm happy with it. And then for the water, as you can see, with like the green and the brown, that were quite nice, and I went over with the blue on the edges, and I really think that helped a lot as well. And then I tried to go over it with like the ripples in the water as well, to just have some extra blue in there, and I think that worked. So I'm really happy with how that came out. I think it dried out quite nicely, I have to say. And then for the details in like her dream bubble, I'm going to call it a bubble. I know it's not really a bubble, but I'm going to call it a bubble. I went over it directly with the pencil. So I realized that the shade will be really intense when I do this, but that was kind of my intention. And then for her hair, I wish I didn't do this. I wish I did things differently. And like, I can see where I was coming from. I started out okay, but then I should have continued to the bottom and tried to make it lighter at the bottom, and then try and blend the other color in. That is what I think I should have done, and that is what I didn't do, and I think I'm being punished for that right here. So you can basically see, like, the inside corner is fine, but you can see at the outside there that the colors, they have already dried. I did not expect them to dry that fast, truth be told. And I don't know why. Like, as I said, I don't have experience with watercolor whatsoever. So this was a really fun box to try. I do have to say this. And that is the positive thing about these Scrawlrboxes. They give you things that are either out of your comfort zone or it's just a price. You never know what you're going to get unless you look it up on the website, because I think it's on the website as well, but I never look it up. I like to see what we get without knowing, and it's just a little gift every single month. That's how I see it. So yeah, this is absolutely, I had a lot of fun with the watercolors. I think they worked quite well. I don't know if this is something I would start with. I've never worked with watercolor pencils before. I've seen people on YouTube work with watercolor pencils. I've seen it around. Maybe I should have tried to learn a bit more. But yeah, no, I tried to do what I could and tried to see if I could get as many tips and tricks as possible to make sure I wouldn't really fully screw this up. And I think I did quite okay. And I did end up removing like the spots, the yellow spots at the top there. They are very clearly there right now, and they're literally bubbles sitting on the paper. And I will remove them eventually. So I will dab them so they're dried out. And you will very, very subtly see them. So it's not like obvious they're there. So I did fill in all the flowers with just the plain red as well. And will I continue with watercolor? I don't know. I had a lot of fun working with it, and I can definitely see how it's interesting and fun to do. Like, the waiting times weren't as bad as I thought they'd be, like the drying times for everything, because everything pretty much dried out quite fast, I have to say, faster than I thought. And especially when I was messing around with, I'm going to use like the apostrophes, the watercolors that I made myself from pencils. Yeah, no, this was a much better experience, and I do recommend anyone who wants to try watercolors to just give it a go. You know, pick a set and just see how it works and check. And I do say do your research and check and see what you have to do with like the 2 glasses of water, like one for the dirty water and then one for clean water. And also, like, if you have pencils, see how best you can use them. And as I said, like, I don't think I should have used mine on the actual paper itself, but I'm quite happy with it. I did get a tip as well regarding the tape, as you can see over here. I moved the tape very slowly away, and that helps to not rip the paper. But also I made sure I put it on my clothing first so that it wasn't as sticky as it would have been otherwise, and that really helps. So yeah, I would definitely recommend watercolors. I very much enjoyed this box, and I hope you like the outcome, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.